Masachet Menahot Daf Mem Gimel Amud Aleph 37 lines down Tanur Rabbanan הכל חייבים בסיסית, everybody חייב בסיסית, כהנים לווים ישראלים, גרים נשים ועבדים, כהן לוי ישראל, גר, woman or עבד כנעני, רבי שמעון פוטר בנשים, רבי שמעון says woman are פטור. מפני שמצווה שעשית is not going to because it's a specific time, מצוות that are dependent on time, women are פטור. וכל מצוות שעשית שמות גמרא, נשים בטלות. אמר מור, הכל חייבים בסיסית, כהנים לוי ישראלים, פשיטה, why would you think that כהנים לווים ישראלים פטורים, מה אין לחייב? So if you think they're patur, then who else would be chayav? The answer is no. Kohanim misrich leitzin yachitus kohanim are chayav. سكت الأغنياء يبرثون وإلى وقت لوت الباش شعات ناس تمر بشتم يحتاف قديم تعسى الأخ since mentions the halachot of sisit next to sha'at nez man de lo ishtri kalam nekapeh v'lisha lahud mahef the only one who's never allowed to wear sisit sha'at nez can wear tzis should wear tzitzit. Ani kohanim then kohanim who el v'ishtred kalayim legabay lalachayu since they're allowed to have shanes for their kohen clothing, maybe they should patur come out from there for the chayav. Nehid ishtri b'eidan avodah. Now since the reason being because technically since they're allowed to use shanes for the avodah for bet mikdash, b'lo'eidan avodah lo ishtri outside bet mikdash they can't, and that's why they need a special heter for tzitzit. Rabbi Shimon ben Hashim, my Rabbi Shimon wise, but Rabbi Shimon holy patur. Ten Rabbi says that ur item oto you should see it. Perat leksut leila teaches you to accept that not a night garment because you can't see it. Atamar perat leksut leila, perat leksutuma. Maybe who says that excluding a night garment? Maybe because people can't see. Maybe it's referring to a guy who's blind. Kishomer asher techase baha. That which you cover yourself. Ade eksutuma amur. Even a blind person is included because he's wearing clothing. Hamarkian Ridamato must be excluding night garments. Why would you include blind and exclude a night? Other people because he's the blind guy's clothing. Night garments not usually seen by others. רבנן קורא את החכמים בסוגיה חייב, חייב אשר תחזר אמר עבד וראיתי את הפסוק, מדבר לקטן לי פלפלים ברייתא, על ארבע כנפות כסותך, to put on your four corners, ארבע ולא שלוש excludes three. אתה אומר ארבע ולא שלוש, או אין ארבע ולא חמש, היינו four not three, maybe it's four not five. כשאומר אשר תחזר בה covering yourself, הרי בעלת חמש אמרה it's referring to a garment with five corners. Meaning even if you have five, you still need to put four. وما عليكم على بات 24 about the excluding 3 ما رايت about بعض 5 وغطي بعض 5 why would you include 5 and exclude 3 ربي على بعض 5 شيء بخلاف 5 because 5 at least has 4 corners which you need 4 cc's ومزيد بعض 11 and بخلاف 4 but 3 corners garment does not have 4 therefore you come with bator ربي شو corner شمون ما أشر نافكا he learns from the extra word أشر ربنا أشر لما بعيش ربنا cannot use the word أشر because they don't learn it something extra. Remember, Uritimata Ma'avle, what do the Chachmim do with the word Uritomata that Rabbi Shimon used? Ibartan defiles Uritimoto Uzcharta Mish remember. Re'em Mitzvazu Uzchor Mitzvah Acharata Tuyaba. See this mitzvah and remember another mitzvah. So what's that? Zukri Ashma is referring to say Ashma. Tam Mishnah says, Memetai Karin Shema Ashahid, when do you say Shema in the morning? Mishakir ben Tchid Levant, from the time that you can distinguish between the Tchelet and white wool in that daytime or on the beginning of the day. تاني ده بالفرس تقول تيموتو وسخرتم see and remember what does it mean ايه mitzvah زو وسخر mitzvah אחרת اسمها لا see this mitzvah remember another mitzvah next to it remember is what's next to it زو mitzvah كلا mitzvah first شعن is تكتيف لو تبقى شعن تستمر بشين يا تخلاف كتير ناس هذا اوكي تاني ده بالفرس تقول تيموتو وسخرتم كل سب see this mitzvah and remember all mitzvot كيف مش حياة بعد mitzvah زو حياة من خمس كلام one person حياة من سيد حياة in everything تنام شمان بيش من هيدا مار mitzvah تسيد تسمع كمان Israel is according to Rishimon who says it's a positive commandment. It's only for daytime. But if it's teaching you once day hits that you're chayav on this, you're chayav enough. Tanamay says, "Uritamata usatem kon Hashem shekulam mitzvah gezu keneged kol mitzvah kulan." That's pasuk we see that mitzvah is equal to all mitzvot. Tanamay says, "Uritamata usatem asistem." You should do it. Riyam meviyal de zechira. Seeing leads to remembering. Zechira meviyal de asiyah. Remembering leads to doing mitzvot. Rabbi Shimon Yachai is according to Rabbi Shimon. He says something else. Kol azariz mitzvah, whoever's takes advantage of this mitzvah, Zachem mekabel pnei Shekhinah will see God. K'tiv hacha, because it says, U'ritim oto, you shall see it. U'k'tiv hatam, et Hashem elokecha tira et oto ta'avod. Okay. And we're not. Chayvivin on Israel, beloved our Jews, sheisi v'chana kadosh baruch hu, mitzvot, Hashem surrounded them with mitzvot. Tefillin b'rashehen, u'tefillin b'zrotehen, v'chidehen. They have tefillin in their heads and arms, tzitzit on their clothing, umzal b'tehen and umzal on the doorways. ועליהן אמר דוד עצמו דוד said, שבע ביום הלתיך על משפטי צדקך. Seven times a day I praise you, which is the seven mitzvot. Two tefillin, four strings, and mezuzah. Seven. Which actually class David but when David used to go to the bathhouse, he used to say, Ahmed Aram, he would say himself without clothing. Amar Oli She Amod Aram Blo Mitzvah. Look at me, I'm standing without any mitzvot. Naked. וכיוון שנזכר בנעל סדרו שעה once he remembered he did a mitzvah with his body, במילה, he became relieved. לאחר שיצא אמר עליה שירה, then he sang when he left. שנאמר למנצח על השמינית מזמור דוד, the eighth one, על מילה שניתנה בשמיני. Not only is the eighth mitzvah of the body, but it's also the eighth day that you get it. רבי אליעזר יעקב אומר, כל שיש לו תפילין בראשו ותפילין בזרועו בצירי וכתוב מוזר בפתחו, whoever has tefillin on his head to sit on his garments and mizan his doorway, hakol behizuk shelo yachete, it'll stop him from sinning. Shemar va'achot hamshlosh lo b'mherei anatek. The three knotted cord is not easily cut. So if you're triple protected with mizuzah, tzitzit, and tefillin, it's very hard to miss. Okay, Tanner says, "Hey, remember, what's the difference between Teched and other dyes that we use it? Because Teched looks like the sea. The sea looks like Shemaim. We had this in Mishnah Berurah. V'rakia looks like Kavod, and the sky is like Kisei Kavod. Shemar v'tachat רגליו במעשה לבנת הספיר ואין דהשמע מן הטהר. וכתיב, כמראה אבן ספיר דמות כיסא. So when you see or see Techilet, it reminds you of Hashem. Tenement says, hey, remember, Gadol on Shol Shalavan, you tell me on Shol Techilet. A person's Avira for not doing white threads is greater than the mitzvah of not doing blue threads because white's easier to get. Mashallah, whoever the comparable. The Melech Chazar Adam Shamar Shnev, a king, told this to his servants. The Echad, he told one of them, Amar Heveli Hotam Shaltit, bring me a classic clay seal. Ula Hard, and another guy says, Amar Heveli Hotam Shazab, bring me a gold seal, much harder to find. Upashu Shneim V'la Mahaviu, they could not find it. Is a man on Shabbat who is getting bigger punishment? This is the guy who was supposed to bring the clay one, easy to find. Since it was easier for him, he didn't do it, he getting punished more. So too with white and techilit, it's harder to bring techilit, you get punished less, white, you get punished more. Tanner says, Hayab Mir, Hayab Adam Verech me Abrachot, a person has make 100 brachot every day. Shneimar, Shema says, Vata Yisrael, Ma Hashem Elokecha Shoel Mimach. What is Hashem asking from you? Ma, it can be looked at as 100. Hashem's asking from you 100. Rabbi Hiyav, Rabbi Yed, Rav Hava, Shatav, Yotava, on the Shabbat and Lov, Tarach Mamalahu, Israel B'Magdeh. Since there's not enough berachot, we say much less berachot in during Amidah. They used to say extra berachot with extra fruits and nuts and spices. Tanner says, Hey, remember, Hayadam Berech Shlosh Berachot, a person should say three berachot every day. Elohim, that's that. Asani Yisrael, then made me a Jew. Shalosani Ishana, did not make me a woman. Shalosani Bur, and did not make me an Amaretz. Rabbi Haber Yaakov Shemad, the Rabbi, the Havakam Berech Shalosani Bur. Yaakov Barakov heard his son saying that, thank you Hashem for not making me Amaretz. Amarle said, Kula Hainami, why did you say that? Amarle, he says, an Amaretz still is a Chayam Mitzvot. Amarle says, Be'elam Berech, which is saying, said, Shalosani Ivid, she say that you did not make me a slave. I know Isha. He says it's the same thing as a woman. Why? Same point. They're both patur mitzvot. He says no. Eved ziltfe. Eved is worse. Has it less. At least a woman is a free woman, except in Saudi Arabia. Turn on. Hilazonzo, the hilazon item. Gufot labiyam looks like a sea. Ubreto the man dog and looks like a fish or a snail, as we know. It emerges from the water every 70 years. Uvdamot of its blood is used to chelet. That's why it's very expensive. They do say that it could be found if you look for it, and there are those that say that people have found it, and even a rabbi says that they actually found it. And that is the confirmed one. Tanabite says, Amar B'Tanatan, in the Chakum Torah, you have never found a light mitzvah in the Torah, She'en Matan Tzachar B'Olam Hazeh, that the reward is not paid in this world, B'Olam Haba and next world. Inu Dema Kama, I don't even know what it'll be, and I don't even know how great it'll be. Tzil Lamar Bin Tzazit approves you from Tzazit. Ma'aseh B'Dam Echad Shehaz Zahir B'Tzat Tzazit. There's a certain man who was very punctuous with Tzazit, even though he was not exactly tzaddik otherwise. He heard of a special prostitute far away that she took 400 golden dinars as her payment. He sent her the money and he scheduled at a time. When his time came, he arrived at her house. And the attendant told the lady, the guy's here. The guy who sent you the money is here. Amara, he kind of said, okay, come in. Nechnas, he got in. Hitzi alo sheva mitot. She prepared 7 beds for him, one on top of the other. Shish shel kesef v'chad shel the first 6 were silver, one in gold. Ubin kol v'chad v'chad shel shel kesef. Between each bed there was a silver letter. The inosh shel zahav, the last one was gold. Al tav yasha al gabel l'ina kishu aruma. She went unclothed on the top bed. Afu Allah the shev arum genedan. He also unclothed himself on the other bed, on the opposite turn, unclothed. Ba'al arbas yitov v'tafu al panav. At that moment, his seat, which he didn't take off, hit him in his face. Nishmat v'yashav lo agar he slipped. He jumped down and he sat on the ground. Then she jumped down. Amrado, she told him, "Gapasha Romi, I swear by the masters of Rome, I'm not going to leave you till you tell me what you saw wrong with me." Right? She's used to people not being able to control themselves. All of a sudden he just stopped. Amrullah, he said, Ha'avuda, I swear, Shalora iti isha yafak matach. I never saw a beautiful woman just like you. I never saw a woman as beautiful as you. Ella, however, mitzvah achat zivna Hashem Elokeinu, God commanded us a mitzvah, v'tzit shematim v'kotzit, uktiba ani Hashem Elokechem, and shematim, he mentions I am Hashem twice in that Torah about it. Ani hu she'atid l'farei, I'm gonna punish you. But I knew I'm also the one who gives reward. Now these strings appear to me like 4 witnesses testifying about the sin I was about to do. Amar Allah, she told him, "Any min ashi tomar li, ma shemcha, u'ma shem irach, u'ma shem rabach." I'm not letting you leave me until you tell me what's your name, where you're from, and what's the name of your teacher. U'ma shem midrashecha shetel mad b'torah. Which yeshiva you learned in? K'tav natan b'yadah, he gave it to her. Amda v'chilka kon zera, she left and she split her to possessions. Shlishi l'malchut, she gave 1/3 to the government, IRS. Ushlish l'aniyim, 1/3 to the poor. Ushlish l'talaydan, third she took with her. Hos matan hamasot, except for those linens. She sold everything except for those linens that she prepared for this Avera. Ubal b'mer shosh Rabbi Chia, she entered Rabbi Chia, Amar lo Rabbi, she said, Rabbi, Saveh alav yasuni girat, give me instructions how I shall convert. Amar la biti, my daughter, why do you want to convert? Shema einayich natat be'acham, do you only want to marry one of my students? Hotzia ktav miyadav v'natat she showed him the note, and he told her the whole story, which showed the rabbi that she was serious about converting because she was so taken aback by how this man controlled himself because of his God. Amar la, he said, once she converted, he said, now you could go marry him. Those linens that she prepared for that boy for an Avinah, she did it mutar. First of all, pause. We see a person could be drawn to do such an Avirah, and now he has that comeback. Just because a person has a weakness does not make him a bad person. Person should never think he's too far out. Just side point. Zem Matan Tzachos knows that this is the reward for someone who does mitzvah in this world. Ulam haba, in the next world, any of that come, I don't even know how big it will be. Okay, remember that. Baro Talet, Kol Shlishim Yom, Peturam, it's the first 30 days. You are patur from putting Sisiran. You come after that you're chayav. Tamar Chayav says, well, Hadar Pundi Kibbutz Yisrael, there was a person who, if someone spent the time in like the hotel in Eretz Yisrael, Vasacher Bait Bechutz La'aretz, someone was a house outside Eretz Yisrael, Kol Shlishim Yom Patur Mitzvah Mizah. First 30 days you're patur from Mizah. Can you come Chayav after that you're chayav? Vasacher Bait Be'eretz Yisrael, person renting in Eretz Yisrael, Osem Mizah B'La'atar, he puts Mizah right away. Mishim Yishuv Eretz Yisrael, because that person has a mitzvah to stay in Eretz Yisrael, and therefore we want you to stay there, and you should stay more than 30 days. So otherwise, we don't assume you might stay 30 days. That's why you're not chayav. Over here, we are hoping you do.